My name is Alexander Demetrius McIntyre, and I live a couple blocks away from the downtown location. So this is my first time running for the board. I've been involved with the Members Affair Committee since 2017. Throughout the years of my involvement with MAC is really what I think spearheaded me to want to be a part of the board. And I've recently been appointed a board of directors position for a vacancy that ended in March of 2025. And I was encouraged to reapply from my peers. And so I'm applying again, running for the board because I've really enjoyed the process along the way and want to continue learning. So with the Bellingham Community Food Co-op, I've been a member since 2012, 2013. When moving to Bellingham from Anacortes, I got a membership like right away. When attending Whatcom Community College, the co-op was like my go-to spot. Getting lunch and just studying, and that's when I received my membership for the co-op. I studied urban planning and sustainable development at Western Washington University and graduated in 2017. I would say my experience with the community, whether that be volunteering, my employment, I think would be applicable for the board position. The volunteer work for me is the most important because I get to see new people. I get to learn about issues, policies that are happening locally. So I attend city council meetings. I try to get involved in that arena as well. Very involved with food system organizing. I mean, I volunteer at the food bank. I just left there for this. But I do a lot of advocacy work, issues intersecting around food insecurity, food sovereignty, food justice. You know, I've been volunteered for the co-op for quite some time, whether that's cooking classes or helping with the annual meeting party. I've just found ways to plug in and learn more and educate myself around different issues that are happening locally, getting involved in different grassroots groups throughout the years, such as community development, Birchwood Food Desert Fighters. I was interning with Sustainable Connections for quite some time, and so those groups and the people that I met along the way have kind of helped shape me into who I am. And I think because I've been involved with so many different nonprofits and groups that have been impacted from the co-op, whether that's funding or small grants or farms. So I see it, I hear it, and how important the co-op has been. And as a board member, I think I would be able to have a unique perspective in the sense that I'm deeply rooted here in Bellingham and Whatcom County, and my insight could be a good addition to the board. For me, the co-op is so important for so many reasons, not just thinking of myself when I hear this question. Yeah, I was actually just at a conference yesterday in Seattle. Sock Farm was there, and they were, I was talking to him a little bit, and it was really cool to hear. He said that the co-op was the first grocery to give him a chance, an opportunity to sell his product. And he had been turned down so many times, and the co-op was the one to kind of believe in him, he said, and give him that opportunity to sell his product and make it more visible to consumers. So for me, it was important to hear the struggles that he had to face in order to sell his apples, and how willing the co-op was to be able to give him a chance. When you think of the community food co-op, it's in the name, so community is such a big part of the cooperative. And when you have to think about profitability as a business model as well, but it's not just about making money, it's about the people, whether that's the workers, how they're being treated, how our food is sourced. And so I think the co-op thinks about those things intentionally and what they're putting on the shelves and what people are buying. It's much different than corporations, large corporations. It's not just about making the most dollar. And I think that's important when we think about consumption and capitalism in the world that we're currently living in, kind of shifting the narrative around that. And I think the co-op, for me, does that. It makes me think a little bit more about what I'm purchasing, where it's coming from. And as someone who consumes, I think it's important to be critical in where I'm spending my money and I choose to shop at the co-op. So some skills and qualities that I have that could be applicable for the board of directors position. I can juggle, no. I would say an open mind and an open heart. I think kindness goes a long way. Honoring those that have come before me. So I try to advocate for people that aren't in the room. So those marginalized communities, the members that aren't being represented, or people that just aren't being heard. I try to take that, listen, and share with others. But for me personally, I have a lot of kind of an entrepreneurial mindset, I would say. Very creative and innovative, self-motivated. I like to take risks, but strategically, like, plan things. And I believe that it's okay to make mistakes, because I don't think it's failing, but, trying at least and putting effort into something. And for me, throughout the years, I feel like I've done that. I've fallen down, I've gotten back up. And outside of that, I feel like I'm like a very empathetic person. I think what I said is probably good. So the part of the strategic plan that is most exciting for me would have to be healthy food access. It's kind of like the core of who I am. I think it's so important to provide nutritious, healthy food, and especially to those people who are in most of need, whether that's the youth or elderly or folks that just don't have access and the means of availability. So a lot of the work that I do is around providing food to people, whether that's at the food bank or with the Birchwood Food Desert Fighters. I hand out a lot of food for people, but I also think it's important not just, it's about where the food comes from, cultural relevance. And so for people to be able to define and control what they consume is so important and empowering. And for me, the healthy food access isn't just about, having the means of somebody being able to eat an apple, but somebody to be able to really define what it is to them, what speaks to them, what reminds them of home. And so I kind of look at healthy food access as, yes, a means of providing adequate food to those in need, but kind of just thinking more so about where the food comes from. And so, I think locally, yes, we do get a lot of amazing food, and it's important, seasonally to uplift that. But also there's certain products and ingredients that isn't from here, but it's a remembrance of where they come from. And so having different ethnic foods, I think, is so important, providing that. So, yeah. My favorite food at the co-op, it really does depend a lot on what season it is. So I've been eating so many oranges lately, and all the citrus this time of year is amazing. But if I would say on a daily basis, or just most frequently, would have to be probably the tiramisu or the pumpkin cookie. So the bakery does an amazing job, and I always look forward. It's very consistent. The tiramisu is gluten-free, just for those who are intolerant. Yeah, the tiramisu is like a go-to if it's available, Sometimes I'll come later at night and I'm like, wait, where's my tiramisu slice? I am a little disappointed, but then I just go to the cookie. So it's I got options. The thing that I enjoy the most about being a part of the board so far has been the people that I meet along the way, the connections, being involved with MAC and the Members Affair Committee. I've sat kind of underneath the board or worked with the board and board members for many years. And so it's kind of just adding on to that puzzle. I'm very passionate about the co-op, and I've helped out with the Real Food Show. So I've went to schools and, I've blended smoothies on my bicycle, and I've seen how much the co-op does for the community. And I just wanted to be a part of that. And so I think for me being a part of the board, like I said, it's only been a few months, but I hope to continue that and just continue learning, sharing with others my knowledge and expertise when it comes to food and food justice and providing food to people in need, and really showcasing the cooperative model in the sense that anyone can be a part of it, you know. And from my time being even just a member with the co-op, I've seen how the co-op really does listen to its members and wanting the membership to have a voice. And they, you know, and when people are supporting the co-op, they're supporting local farms, they're supporting the local economy, they're helping support the workers, you know, the co-op workers. And I think it's so important to look at the big picture and how much the co-op does provide to the community. So.